It's 11:11 a.m. on June 24th, 2014. It's a Tuesday. I'm by Magic Mountain here, on my way to go see Jim Kelley in Castaic, California, right here, getting a view of the Magic Mountain rides over there, all those roller coasters, and we're on our way to Castaic to see Jim Kelley. Here we are, we're coming into Castaic, California to see Jim Kelley. Hello, Castaic, California. Here's Castaic, California. 11:16 a.m. on June 24th, 2014. It's a Tuesday morning. There's a McDonald's there. There's a Chase Manhattan Bank there. A whole bunch of stuff here in Castaic, California. And here we are at the Castaic Senior Living. Gonna go pick up Jim Kelley. He's supposed to meet me here. There's the pool, so I'll meet him by where his house is, his rooming area. What time we got? 11:44. Okay. Jim Kelley, cool. What do you got there, Jim? Let me see.
I found some things that you'd be interested in while we're here.
Oh, just tell me something. You go to Norway to revisit some guys from yesteryear, and you find out that you don't like the food, right?
Yeah.
And the food is what? What did you figure you were going to get in Norway? Coming from Southern California, come on. You're not going to get American food. So what did they have? I got to know. Because when I go to Norway, if they don't have any waffles there, I'm going to strangle them. I'm going to strangle. Give me an idea what they...
I don't know. It was the sauciness or the spicy or whatever it was. The stuff they added to the food just turned me off.
Yeah.
So bottom line, I taught the lady how to make French toast. It's about the only thing I could stomach over there. And instead of charging, you know, the normal rate of like 50 cents per piece, she charged $2 for each piece of friggin' French toast, and I used to have like 8 at a time.
That's
$16
for breakfast.
Yeah.
How much was the coffee? Per ounce. Per ounce.
I don't remember any of that, but that's about all I ate back then, you know.
But when the guy told you to come over there, what's his name? Pesha. When he told you to come to Norway after many years of not seeing him since you guys were a big hit in America.
Well, I kind of owe you a lot, Jim, and you took care of my dog, and you had to put my dog to sleep for me and everything. And
he left the dog in America?
Yeah, and he said he was going to come right back and take care of him. He left me hang with a sick dog, prick.
You going back to the 60s with this shit.
Like I said, I never know about numbers and dates. No.
So he leaves, and then many years later he has this on his conscience that he wants to help you out from what you helped him out.
The first thing I got on the phone and I heard his voice, I was a little drunk at the time, and he called. And he got on the phone and said, "This is Paige. You fucked me with your dog." He went, "What? I fucked you with my dog? What the fuck are you talking about?"
You remember, yeah.
No, he took it literally, fucking with my dog, you know? And says, no, you left me hanging with that sick dog, man. You just screwed me over. And I had to pay a whole thing to try to get him to,
and especially a guy like you, has hard enough to do that. You kept them. You wouldn't give them to a pound because you love animals, you know?
Right.
So that really hurt.
So I tried to save the dog with 3 different doctor visits. Then it got so sick I had to put him to sleep. It was heartbreaking for me. I told the guy, you know, and you're just a selfish prick.
And the guy comes out of fucking...
In other words, you fucked me with your dog.
And what did he say to that?
Well, he was a little drunk too at the time. He says, "Well, gee, I really owe you. But that's the reason I'm calling you, Jimmy. I know I really owe you. I've done real well over here. I go to estate sales, and I've got 2 giant warehouses filled with stuff, and I'm kind of rich. And I've got my own recording studio, and I thought I'd invite you over for as long, you know, and I'd pay for your way, and I'd pay for your food and everything.
Ah.
So I said, a vacation to Norway. I just got married. Should I do this? I can't pass this up, I said.
This is with Suzanne.
Yeah. So I was already bored after about 3 weeks of marriage with Suzanne. Tell you
So
the
it's
truth.
time to vacate.
Oh, I felt so bad about that. I didn't treat that woman good. I treated her. I mean, treated her fine, but the neglect. You know, moving off to Norway for 3 months and hardly even calling her. You know what I mean? I never even thought of her while I was there.
Right. Then you weren't in
Then
love.
I wasn't in love with her then.
No.
See?
It was infatuation.
Yeah.
You were feeling more the drive of like that first few days when you saw her and you checked her out comparative to what they grew into. It never grew into anything big. So you made the right move. You went to Norway. But when you get there, what kind of food are they serving? I mean, how's the wife? How's the daughter? How's the triangle room? How's the what went on that day you get off the plane? What happened?
I don't remember.
You sure it was you that went? Are you sure you make her? Maybe I went for you.
I
And I don't
remember
know.
a few things about that trip. I remember there was no heat in the recording studio in the winter, and I had to sleep with 3 jackets on to survive. Sleeping in that.
Well, he was really he wanted to help you out for the way you
really
did.
helped me a lot, didn't he?
So you get in
He did
there,
give
what
me
do you
access
do?
to a studio. You know they don't have any grass there.
You don't have any marijuana?
They have hashish. That's all I got.
We should sue them with the biggest lawyer we got. We should sue those people.
So, and I'm ashamed of myself. I should have taken that studio more seriously. I could have written a lot more songs. But you know, I was out loose and free. I wasn't thinking about being married. And I was horny. I wanted to get laid.
So when you got in that studio, he conducted a session where you record. Did you ever record anything there?
Oh yeah, I recorded a lot there.
And
But
then
I could have done a lot more. And I could have learned the board a lot more. And I could have really, like that picture of John Lennon right there. I could have.
So what did he say about it?
I could have
Yeah.
been that guy right there.
Oh.
You know?
Get in closer
24
with it.
hours
Get
a
in
day.
closer with it. Oh yeah. Well, you saw what happened to him.
My Stevie Wonder, I love you, baby.
But,
Love you, Joe.
Tell me one thing about yourself, Jim. When you went there and you felt uncomfortable with the guy, and you saw his traits from years before, because you could see that even though he was saying, I owe you a lot, you took care of the dog, I treated you bad when I was...
Give me some money so I can buy some food.
Right. He didn't do that.
No.
So, how long did it take for that to surface? You were there 3 months?
Yeah.
In the first 10 days, what were the first 10 days like? Was he buying the food? And on the 11th day, there was no food? No, give me an idea. When did you start starving? I'll put it to you that way. How soon did it take you to start starving and going, how do I get back to Southern
I'm not
California?
judging time.
So it was enough to annoy you, but you stayed for 3 months.
Yeah. I wanted to stay even longer because at the trail end, we was getting close to leaving. I realized I farted off a lot of time here. I'd like to have another 3 months here.
Right.
You know, and I won't fart off this next 3 months.
Time really
And I'll
flew.
use the contacts. The Javed, the great Pakistan composer, he believed in me. Butdorf and Stig believed in me.
Right.
All these guys I recorded with, and I could have blossomed with these guys, and really done some marvelous things. But I was too much of a flake and too much of a gypsy, and I was married and I'm out there trying to get laid. See, there's a lot of disrespect I have for myself in a lot of ways.
Well, I got to hear some story about when you went into that room that was cold, that was shaped like a triangle. Hold on. When Pesha was not feeding you at the level of humanitarianism, let's put it that way. When you come all the way to Norway after he pleads for you to come there, when you found out that the food wasn't readily there and it was foreign food and you started going into it with the French toast that was $2 a slice, what did you say to him about that? He was not paying for the meals then.
First of all, none of us knew that the woman was going to be charging $2 a slice.
Right.
We thought she was going to be a normal human being. And she just took
They're not
advantage of the
normal in
situation.
Norway, okay? It's not normal to be... Go ahead. So did you figure out, did he feel, well, Jim, let me take care of this financially. Let's buy you some... Did he come to your...
It was a running bill. You put it on the bill, it's a running bill, and he never even bothered to take a look at the bill until the very end.
Yeah.
And he freaked out.
Did he pay it?
Well, no, I don't think he paid it because that was highway robbery. And I told the lady, you are absolutely robbing this guy. Each meal that you cooked me should have been only about $3 or $4 at the most. Because it ain't hard to do, the egg and bread.
So she makes the French toast, but the fact is it's $2 a slice.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous. That's not... We got to get another lawyer for her now. I got to sue them all.
So at the very end, he blamed me for that again, and I got in her face right in front of him that you're taking advantage of him by charging that much, and you know you're wrong about doing that. I had nothing to do with any of this. I was trusting you to do the right thing, giving me a fair price. It's not even giving Paisha, your friend, a fair price, right?
She sounds like she was really not on good terms with Paisha.
You know
what I mean?
Whatever. But,
so little by little, your problems are elapsing. They're happening, that's gone, then there's another problem, then you go and you feel it's cold there, and you're living in a room that's shaped like a triangle or something. What was that story again?
Well, I told Paisha, you're having me sleep in this recording studio, and it's freezing in here. It feels like it's below zero. And it's very hard for me to feel comfortable in any way. I mean, I'm freezing. Can I come and spend a few nights at your apartment? My God, you invited me over here, and I'm starving and freezing.
How far away was the house?
I don't know.
No, but it was in the same building.
No.
Oh, you had to stay in the studio.
The studio was a couple blocks away from the house.
Okay.
It's an apartment building. So, he said come over for a couple of days and spend the night. And he never even tried to rectify the problem with the heater. It would have been so easy. Give me a heater in here, plug it in. Prick. Anyhow, time to go to bed. It wasn't time to go to bed. It was, I guess it was about 8 o'clock at night. It was a little triangle room. A little tiny triangle room, just big enough for a bed and a bookcase, and that was about it.
Which the daughter was living there at one point.
Yeah, which the daughter had reported to the mother and father that there was devil-type things happening to her in that room.
Oh, boy.
And they didn't believe her. So the bottom line is I'm in the room relaxing. No one's in the house. I don't know where Paisha and his wife is. But I'm in the bed, lying flat, reading an article about Mick Jagger. And all of a sudden, things slowly start spinning. And faster and faster and faster. And getting really wild, and I'm hanging onto the bed, and I feel the bed starts rocking. I don't know if it really was or just inside my head. But I was trying to keep myself from being thrown violently off the bed. So I was hanging on. And my body went from normal to instant drenched with sweat and total fear. The element, there was a demon in the room. I'm sure there's devil worshippers that lived upstairs.
Devil worshippers lived upstairs from this studio?
Yeah, no, not studio.
Oh, the apartment, okay.
And they used to march up and down the stairs like 20 times every single night in praise to to Satan.
You'd hear this going on?
You could hear them marching up and down the stairways at night. Yeah.
That's part of this prayer, to go up and down stairs.
Part of their prayer thing, yeah.
Now, hold on, a question. Paisha and his wife allow this to go on?
They didn't know what was going on.
Oh, so a certain section of the house.
They thought that their daughter was making it up.
How come they don't hear the footsteps going up and down?
Well, they heard that, but they didn't hear any kind of weird things going on inside the
But that's weird in itself. You're going up and down the stairs.
It is weird.
So
he was kind of afraid of those people, so he didn't
there
want to
it
confront
is.
them.
There it is.
So the room is spinning violently, and I'm drenched with sweat and filled with fear. And all of a sudden it starts slowing down, and I'm going, oh, thank God. And I'm not thinking about God, but I did say the words thank God, and after I said the word thank God, it definitely slowed down a lot more quicker. And what I'm trying to tie together, I think that God has something to do with this whole thing.
I would say so, yeah.
So, I get up on the edge of my bed like this, trying to get myself together. And I'd say to myself, I gotta get out of this room because I feel the presence of a demon in this room. I'm saying to myself, terribly. So I get up and I'm walking very awkwardly, like.
Almost like you lost your equilibrium.
Yes, that's exactly, yeah. And I'm trying to get to the door, and it totally took me about 5 steps to get to the door in the small room. And the way I remember it was open about this much, and it just went.
It slammed off.
Closed. I mean, oh fuck! Oh my God! I feel the presence of an evil force in here, and I'm scared. I've never been scared in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I reach for the door, and the force comes against my hand, pushes it back violently.
And really slammed you.
The hand, just the force field, yeah. And again, I reached for the door to get out and pushed me back. Now I guess maybe the demon got pissed because I'm not ready to submit or anything, you know.
Yeah.
And this time, I really forcibly go towards the door, and I get hit in the chest like with a linebacker on the football field. And I go flying about 3 feet through the air, bang against the wall, straight down on my butt on the carpet. And the blow wasn't so hard the first time I could handle it. And I got up, and I got a little angry too. I was scared out of my mind, but I was a little angry. Bottom line is, I got up and I went for the door again, this time more aggressively. And it really hit me in the chest hard this time. Knocked the wind out of me when I hit the wall and came down, and I was totally terrified. And somehow out of my mouth, and I wasn't any kind of Jesus freak or anything at this time in my life, but I said, the blood of Jesus protects me. The blood of Jesus. Save me, Jesus, save me. And I got up and reached for the door, and no force field, no weird feeling, opened the door, walked out. So, now, I slept on the sofa that night. I don't know when they came home. I think they came home late, and I was already asleep on the sofa in the living room. I closed the door to that room. I don't want nothing to do with that room.
Yeah.
And breakfast the next morning, I explained to Sufis and his wife, to Pesha and his wife, what happened. And before I got within 30 seconds of the explanation, Pesha and his wife start falling apart, crumbling. And I'm wondering, what's going on with these people? And then they start bawling, weeping, both of them. What? Oh my God, is a demon in this room now? What's going on? And Pesha said, really crying under his breath, he said, oh my God, my daughter left us 6 months ago, 7 months ago, something like that. And she told me the same story that you're telling me. And we thought she was full of shit. We thought she was nuts.
Oh my God.
And we didn't believe nothing. And she's gone out of our life now. It's like we can't find her. And it's all because we didn't believe her. And then the wife really broke down and just. So, I said, well, that's exactly what happened to me, and it happened to your daughter like 4 or 5 different times.
Wow, 4 or 5 times.
And,
wow.
you didn't believe it. Well, yeah, I see why you're blue now, because you should have believed her.
I wonder how she was explaining it to her parents. What was she saying was going on? Was it the room spinning?
Well, they did say it's almost like an identical story.
They must have. I hope they got back with her.
I don't know. But that's the name of that tune.
Oh.
Was that
Jim,
thing?
what?
That noise?
Yeah. Jim, the story about Paisha with the wife and the daughter, the devil worship room. He was in a band with you in the 60s called the Young Giants. And he and a guy named Sufis came over and somehow connected with you and your father was backing them up.
My father sponsored the king of rock and roll from Norway, Sufis Jan Erikhoff.
Okay. How did he even know this man existed?
Because Paisha, I met Paisha first.
Okay.
Paisha told me all about what a great singer, guitar player the guy was. Get him over here and we'll have a hit group.
So Paisha was here for a while before Sufis.
Yeah. And then my dad sponsored Sufis over. And you know, Paisha and Sufis never really even thanked my father for anything.
No.
And we paid for so many meals and everything, you know, those pricks. Oh, they were pricks.
And it wasn't $2 sliced French toast either.
No.
But they had their own place that they were living in. Don't tell me your father was paying the rent for them. I don't want to hear that your father was paying the rent for them.
I have no idea about any of that.
I know, but it's something.
I was 17 years old.
Yeah, and they were how old?
25, I guess.
Oh, they're old, old. They're in their 70s now.
23? Yeah, I guess so. But Sufis especially owed us a lot. And he never repaid in any way, and he just took advantage of every chance he got.
But on stage, how was the act, I mean? What was the music like?
Dynamically, a great vocal group. But we didn't have, I was a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid. I didn't have a lot of confidence then.
But you had a Mosrite guitar. To be continued. This is JOE NANIA talking to an old buddy by the name of Jim Kelley about a lot of things that happened to him over the years in music, and a lot of things that happened to him in his life when he would resume with some of these people later in life. All right. I'll talk to you a little later. Bye. That was my mom here.
The more you touch her, the more she'll trust.
Hi.
And let her smell your fingers. Yeah, see? That's good. Yeah, she's one of these cats that doesn't strike out at you.
No, I'm worried about that.
Yeah, you don't do that.
All right, that's enough for the first session. Jim, we're
still in Great Jeopardy. He might have said to him, let me just take over this thing. Let me take over the financial
because 30
problems.
grand wasn't going to save your father's KELBO'S. Just give me the fast rundown on this. Your father's at what age when this happens? In his 70s, he was retired. Your mother too, June, Tom and June Kelly. And they're approached.
My dad was about 80.
Okay, he's approached by a man. Now, your father's a very wisdom-filled man, a genius. He's a songwriter. He met me, I met him. He loved me, I loved him. And I'm just a stranger to him. Now, he loved people. He would never want to do any harm to anybody. Neither would your mother, because your mother was great. Your sister's wonderful. You are. And all of a sudden, at 80 years old, Tom Kelley, who owns KELBO'S, and his wife are in a meeting room with a guy named Adam Bigwood, right? Who says he's what? Give me some...
I don't know that part. I just know that my dad got sucked in by a mafioso type attitude that took over our business and crippled us. Made us slowly weaker and weaker and weaker, and actually it was quicker, not slower. And we got vulnerable, and then the government even had to come in and guarantee our wages every day.
But the thing is, what was it that the mafioso type guy was
I don't know.
Given your
My
father?
dad never told me what the business they were trying to get into.
But it
I
was
so
shady. It was
against
shady.
Oh yeah, I was so against it, and so was my brother. So was my sister.
But I feel that I'm going to throw something in here. Your father at 80 years old, listening to this riff-raff, man, invest here, Tom, you're going to make more money. Why at 80 years old with a ton of money in the bank?
Well, he didn't have a ton.
Oh, he didn't have a ton.
Well, he had about $6 million.
Well, that's a ton of money, so hold on, let me finish my sentence.
Okay.
Why would an 80-year-old
He got
man...
greedy.
Okay. Why would you want to invest... Let's say you got 10 more years to live. Do you really need to jeopardize the money of $6 million on some clown-ass mafioso prick and find out that he's going to want 10%, 20, 30%? You got greed.
My dad didn't have a clue that anything was going to happen like that.
But he had his old ways about him. He wanted to keep investing.
Yeah,
He had dreams.
Yes, he did.
And those dreams can
And
sometimes
he
bury
used
it.
our inheritance to leverage his dreams. Unfortunately.
But you saw it coming and going, and now, you know...
You know, we could have sold KELBO'S for $4 million at one point, and we said, no, we'll hold out for more. And that was the biggest mistake we made.
That's some of the Kelly family situation. Now, the Nanias, let me tell you what happened in the 70s. My father, Frank Nania, he took $10,000 and went to the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, and he put it into a company called Comstat, C-O-M-S-T-A-T. And what he did was, my father wasn't known for looking at his mail, looking back and reading the mail every day. My mother would look at it and say, hey, Frank, it's going up, it's going up. It went up from 10 grand to 100 grand. The time he could have sold it was then. He made 10 times the money. He made 90 grand off 10. He
could have taken that and be reinvested.
Right, he could, but take it out, get it away, hold on, and then come in where you're big. Go to AT&T now with 100 grand. Maybe you make $2 million. No, my father, lackadaisical personality, you know, personality of nice and right, lost the whole freaking thing. So I can share that with you.
Yeah. I said, Joe, I love you very much, and you're one of the most important people in the history of my life. And if I can help you in any way, in any shape, in any way, I'd break my back for you.
All right.
But the bottom line is, I discovered some wonderful things from my mentor. Take a picture of this, Joe. This is my mentor, Dr. Wayne Dyer.
He has a book out too, yeah.
Oh, he's got many books. This man is probably the closest, one of the closest things walking around to the true Jesus type character, but he's not really religious that much. He's not a Jesus freak, put it that way.
But he's got a lot of earthly wisdom.
He's got unbelievable
wisdom. lot of reality.
So can I share this with you? Some of the notes I took from this,
yeah,
which are incredibly poignant. There are now. First of all, you got to understand that this guy's been studying for 45 years all over the world with all the masters of the world, the greatest thinkers in the world.
The gurus, the Einsteins,
all the
Gandhis. Yeah.
Yes. And he's come up with studying the 4 pathways to life. And the very first one is called discipline. That's one of the most important things to start out with. If you don't have discipline in your life, you won't make anything happen, and I'm proof of that. Because that's my major problem in my life. I've had no discipline. I still don't have a lot. Second thing, important, 4 pathways to life, is wisdom. Inner wisdom. Third most important thing, he elaborated on this so beautifully, but I couldn't write it down, is unconditional love. As far as I know, the only person that ever walked the earth with total unconditional love is the Messiah, Jesus Christ. Other human beings cannot have 100% unconditional love because we're God walking in human form. But he was, and he is. Unconditional love. Now, the most important thing of all these is surrender. Surrender means let go of your hold on life and let go of your ego completely Bottom line is, let go and let God. And I'm not being religious here. I'm saying let go and let the spiritual world take a hold of you. Some other little bits of wisdom. Welcome the unknown. It's good being inner directed. Find true quiet time in meditation. Success or failure comes from a decision, a judgment. And it only takes a second to make a decision or a judgment. And your success or failure can be based on that moment of decision. All life is made up of just decision after decision after decision continually. So, your decisions are the most important thing in your life. Now, the word enthusiasm, that is all about God within you. The power that is within you. Enthusiasm, because that's what God is all about. Enthusiasm. So here's the second part of my little speech. Now, this is where he gets into the secret, which is the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. New Age people think they've discovered the law of attraction, which is a joke. You know who wrote the law of attraction, bro? Jesus Christ.
So they're like a watered-down version of it.
Yes, but because they give the glory to the universe and not the author.
Right.
Okay, that's where they screw up. Now check this out. This is very poignant and for you to learn. Oh, God. When you put your attention on what you don't want or what you cannot be, then what you can't do is what you will continue to manifest and materialize into your life. You need to shift your attention off of what you do not want and cannot do, and shift your attention onto what you can do and what you really want. That means changing your thought pattern. Mm-hmm. And that can happen in a moment also. It's all about moments of decisions.
Right.
So people don't understand this. This is one of the most important things I can teach any human being. You think, what you think about, you become.
And not only that, if you want to add to that part B, it's like it takes a long time to find out who you are and to grow up, and then also you could spend a lot of time in the direction that has nothing to do with who you are, and then you have to turn back and start all over again.
Yeah, you can take a shortcut in life for the better by using your brain the right way. Your thought patterns.
A lot of people are spending their whole life being something they're not even qualified to be.
They're wasting time.
They're wasting time. They never got to know who themselves were.
Yeah.
And they idolize somebody and they go after them and become that all their life and everything. And then the people expect them to continue that way. That really pats them on the back. Oh, they do think I'm like that. Then they're wasting twice as much time. By the time they double back, it's grave time. You know. But go on with this.
Okay. Another bit of wisdom for Dr. Dyer. If you're not doing what you love and loving what you do, you have two choices to make in your life. One, to change what you're doing. Number two, or change how you feel about what you're doing. This can be done in an instant. That is the power of what I'm talking about. A lot of these things are instantaneous, moment-by-moment things that you can put in your life.
Impulsive stuff, man. Impulsive stuff.
Okay. Here's a bit of wisdom that's wonderful. You want to become more successful and become happier in life? Detach completely from the outcome. In other words, don't worry about if you're writing a new song. The last thing you want to care about is who's going to be.
Is it going to be a hit? Is it going to make me money? You don't want to do that.
And if someone's going to like it or not. You don't care.
Like it yourself.
That's right. Do not care about the outcome or what you're going to get from what you're doing. And the outcome, without the worry, will turn out greater than you ever imagined. Do not care if people do not like it. Don't empower those people over you. You're the number one person in the universe. You don't put yourself down to number 100 on the list.
You limit your actions if
you're the more important one. You're the creator, and you stay above all the drama.
Right, all the illusions of grandeur, great expectations that could bury you.
Yeah, and what people think, stay above that. You don't care if they like it or not. See, that's the beauty.
Right.
Do not care if people do not like it. Be detached from any of that, and just go on working and loving with enthusiasm. And and God will make things work out for you. Now watch this. Robert Frost said, this is brilliant, I love this. Robert Frost said, we all sit around in a ring and suppose, while the secret sits in the center and knows. That's beautiful. What that really comes down to meaning is the quiet place within you is the powerful place, and it's the all-knowing place.
Right.
And the world around you is supposing, guessing.
That's it. It's all a mystery,
That's right. But in the center, the secret is there, and it knows. And here's one that you as a musician that you'll probably like. A Zen proverb. It's the silence between the notes that makes the music. Live for the thing you do well. Another. Okay, here's the last bit of wisdom. This is called the insulator, or the insular Tahiti. Now, what this is about is a giant ocean of turmoil in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
A giant ocean of turmoil. That's all this pain and suffering and turmoil and fear and all of it. All the bad things that you can possibly come up with. All the bad things that Satan and the enemy can possibly deliver. That's the ocean. What's in the middle of this ocean? A tiny island called Tahiti.
Right.
Now, on this island of Tahiti, it's all peace and joy and truth and bliss.
Garden of Eden.
Yeah. Insular Tahiti Island, where we are at peace and joy and truth and bliss. All these good things come from deep within the quietness inside of you as a human being. And each human being can attain these things easily if they want them, but they have to desire them. And all this takes place inside your insular Tahiti while being surrounded and bombarded by an ocean of turmoil, stress, worry, and pain. So, what he talks about here is mainly meditation, probably, and prayer.
Yeah.
And finding that quiet place every single day to get in touch with your higher self. I call it God, of course. I call it the Holy Spirit. You can call it whatever you want. Last thing here is, so go get lost in the quiet center, Tahiti. Get lost in there. And simply let go and let God. Now, if we're talking about spiritual things and we're talking about Jesus at all, then what this means is let go and let God. Why did Jesus die on the cross for us? The main reason is God sent him down to take all the pain from us human beings and give it to his Son. All our worry, all our stress, all the things that get us down, all the pain that we have, it was all set up by God to give all of that to Jesus at the foot of the cross.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jesus owns it. You don't own it anymore, you dig?
Right.
And if you don't own it anymore, then you don't have it anymore. So you don't have the pain and the worry no more. He takes it all. And that's the beautiful thing about Jesus is they used to call him Wonderful. They didn't even say his name. They said, "Here comes Wonderful."
Yeah.
Now, we'll break that word down.
Whatever they were Jewish people were saying.
We'll break the word down. Full of wonder. Full of wonder, wonderful. That means a lot to me.
L'chaim.
Well, I found in the last couple months through my little studying and that I do in my reading, that God's chosen people from the very beginning were the Jews, the Hebrews, the Jews, the Jewish people, and I don't know why the whole world is turned against the Jews, but they definitely have. The Jews are like a target for the whole world, it seems. And